You know, I like the Switch and all, but I'd be lying if I said that I'm not a bit disappointed that so many of its games are ports from previous systems. But hey, it's not as if Nintendo re-releasing their games on new hardware is anything new. Case in point, Super Mario 64, DS, on the Wii U. I've been playing this game quite a bit recently, and while it's not my favorite Mario game by a long shot, it's still pretty good. One thing I've noticed while playing it, and correct me if I'm wrong, but doesn't this entire game take place inside Peach's castle? And if that's the case, wouldn't taking any, say for example, currency, technically be stealing from the government? Best not risk it. But can it be done? Is it possible to beat Super Mario 64 DS without collecting any coins? The rules are simple. Don't collect any coins. If the coin counter goes up, quit the level and try again. Easy as that. There are a couple of mechanics that could prove a bit troublesome for us on this quest. Firstly, coins restore our health. Without coins, we have a much harder time healing. That's not to say we can't heal though. These hearts allow us to heal to full whenever we reach them, and swimming on the surface of water also heals us. Somehow. Secondly, most enemies drop coins when we kill them. Once dropped, we can still avoid the coins, but we'll probably want to keep killing enemies to a minimum anyway. And thirdly, not collecting coins locks us out of certain stars. Each main course in Super Mario 64 DS contains 8 stars. However, one of those stars is always a star that you get for collecting 100 coins in the course. Obviously, we can't get any of these stars. More problematic is the fact that each course also contains a star that you get for collecting 8 red coins. Red coins in this game count as 2 coins, so we can't get these stars either. And since red coin missions can appear at just about any point in the order of missions, they can lock us out of other stars, if we have to do that star's specific mission to be able to get it. For example, silver stars can only be gotten when specifically entering silver star missions. Luckily, most stars in the game can be gotten in most missions, so hopefully this won't be too much of a problem. And there we go. If we can collect 80 stars and beat Bowser, all while keeping our quartet of kleptos from touching a single coin, it's a challenge successful. We can collect 4 stars in Bob-omb Battlefield. The stars we can collect are pretty easy. Unfortunately, behind Chain Chomp's gate requires us to ground pound a stake with a red coin directly above it, and thus we can't get it. Mario Wings to the Sky is also impossible since it requires us to collect coins in the center of coin rings. Onto Whomp's Fortress. But first let's pick up the star from Sunshine Isles, which is no problem, and the star from the Secret Slide, which is a bit trickier, but with a bit of work can also be done coinless. At Whomp's Fortress we can collect all 6 stars. Shoot into the Wild Blue can be a bit tricky since the platform you would normally aim for is covered in coins. Luckily, with the right angle, you can shoot directly to the star platform and avoid those coins entirely. Next up is Jolly Roger Bay, where right now we can only collect 4 stars. The 2 we can't get right now require Luigi and Wario, so we may be able to get them later. Of the ones we can get right now, only Plunder in the Sunken Ship is at all tricky, but can be overcome with some cautious platforming. With 16 stars under our belt, we are more than ready to take on the first Bowser level. But first, we do need to save Mario, which isn't too hard. Alright, now it's Bowser time. There are quite a few mildly tricky coins in this level, but they're all avoidable. These bridge coins can be avoided with a mildly sophisticated jump, like a double jump dive or a triple jump. The moving platforms can be avoided by just being slow and cautious. The seesaw coins can be backflipped over, and you can just walk next to the stair coins. The boss fight itself is no problem, and now it's back to the courses. Cool Mountain isn't great for us. We can't even get the first star of this stage. As far as I can tell, you can't get down this chimney without collecting a coin. That means we can't do Slip Slide and Away or Big Penguin Race. We also can't do Snowman Lost His Head since the head doesn't appear unless we do that specific mission. And finally, Switch Star of Cool Cool Mountain is a Wario only star, so we can't get it right now either. That leaves us with just 2 stars that we can get from Cool Cool Mountain right now. Big Boo's Haunt treats us a bit better. We can get 4 stars from here. The Boo killing base stars are quite a hassle though. This is because Boos generally contain a blue coin, which is worth 5 coins. And it can be pretty tricky to kill a Boo without collecting that coin. But it is possible. Also, we can save Luigi in Big Boo's Haunt without too much trouble, and with that, we've unlocked easy mode. Seriously, this guy's backflip can single-handedly clear like 90% of the obstacles in this game. Next on our to-do list is hitting the question mark switch in whatever this sky level is called. Unfortunately, we can't actually get the star here since it's a red coin star, but luckily we don't have to get the star to activate the switch. Now that we have access to both Luigi and the Power Flowers, we can pick up a few stars that we couldn't before. Eye in the secret room, behind the Chain Chomp's gate, and Switch Star of the Bay. Now with all that cleaned up, it's on to Hazy Maze Cave. This course features a lot of stars that you have to be Wario to get. But since this course also features a Wario cap, we can get all 6 stars Hazy Maze Cave has to offer right now without too much difficulty. Our next destination is Lethal Lava Land, which gives us some trouble on 2 main fronts. Our first problem is that 2 of the stars in this course require us to fight bullies on platforms littered with coins. Our other problem lies within the volcano. Here we find a significant amount of coins placed on relatively small platforms. Neither of these obstacles are impossible to overcome, but they are quite tricky. What is impossible to overcome is the fact that the Silver Star mission comes after the Red Coin mission on this course, making it impossible to get. Ultimately, we can obtain 5 stars from Lethal Lava Land. Shifting Sandland's pyramid is pretty tricky for similar reasons as the volcano in Lethal Lava Land, but it's nothing some Luigi backflips can't get us through. The real challenge in this course comes from stand tall on the 4 pillars. This mission requires us to stand atop all 4 pillars around the pyramid. We can run straight up the sides of 3 of the pillars quite easily, but one of them is surrounded by quicksand. Under normal circumstances, one would just use a wing cap to fly to the top of the pillar, but with a coin directly above it, that approach proves to be quite difficult. What I did was backflip to the pillar as Luigi, and with that obstacle beaten, we can collect a total of 4 stars from Shifting Sandland right now, as the other 2 stars require Wario. We've gotten all the way up to 40 stars now, and are just about ready to face Bowser for a second time. But first, we need to beat Board Bowser's sub, which is easy. Now for Bowser in the Fire Sea. This level can be pretty tricky. I found that damage boosting was the most reliable way around many of the coins found here. As Mario. As Luigi, we can backflip over just about everything. Now it's just a matter of beating Bowser, and we've got access to the second floor. Now, we could get straight into the courses, but first, there's one last mustachioed man that we need to rescue. At first, I thought it might be impossible. These coins on the opening slide are tough to dodge. If you're not using a Luigi backflip, that is. This wall of coins also looked troubling. But there's nothing a Luigi backflip can't solve. With the power of backflips, we can get through this level and save our beloved Wario. And now that Wario has joined the good fight, we can go back and get 5 stars from previous courses that we couldn't before. Through the jet stream, Switch Star of Cool Cool Mountain, Switch Star in the basement, Toxbox Switch Star, and Pyramid Puzzle. Oh right, before we tackle the second floor, we should probably do the rest of the stars in Dire Docks. As it turns out, all 6, including Board Bowser's sub, are possible, and without much difficulty to boot. We can also get 6 stars from Snowman's Land, and again without much difficulty. Wet Dry World is confusing and annoying, but not too coin heavy. The one exception to this would be the mission 5 Secrets in the Shallows and Sky, in which we have to hit 3 blocks filled with coins. It is possible to avoid the onslaught, but boy is it annoying. Additionally, once again, a Silver Star mission comes after a Red Coin mission, which means we can't do it, bringing our total stars from Wet Dry World to 5. Tall Mountain asks that we go to the top of the mountain a lot. Luckily, scaling the mountain is pretty easy. Blast to the Lonely Mushroom doesn't ask us to scale the mountain, but with the power of backflips is also pretty easy. One star that isn't easy is Mysterious Mountainside. To get this star, you have to go down this slide that has more coins than the average collector, and this is a problem. But to even get here, you need to find a way through this collection of coins. And honestly, I just couldn't. But the question then arises, where does the slide go? As it turns out, a caged-off alcove on the side of a cliff. But can you get there? My friends, anything is possible with the power of the Luigi backflip. From the top of the mountain, you can obtain a power flower, which allows Luigi to pass through cages. And from there, if you backflip in the correct direction, you can make it to the cage in time and have enough control over Luigi to guide him into it. And with that, we can get 5 stars from Tall Tall Mountain, since 5 Secrets of the Mountain is about collecting coins. Tiny Huge Island isn't too bad. We can get all 6 stars from here. Moving on. And now it's time for Tick Tock Clock. It's actually not too bad. There really aren't that many coins being overly intrusive on the platforming. That being said, once again the Silver Star mission is after the Red Coin mission, so we have to settle for only getting 5 stars from Tick Tock Clock. And that puts us at 78 stars. We only need to get 2 more. And we've got an entire course to get them in. So on to Rainbow Ride. Or we could just talk to a couple of toads. Yeah, let's do that. The time has come. With 80 stars collected, we can now take on the final level, Bowser in the Sky. Unfortunately, only Mario can advance to this stage, meaning our backflips are meaningless here. Nevertheless, the coin placement in this level is not aggressive in the slightest, and we can get through it almost normally without touching a single coin. Now all that's left is the fight with Bowser himself. There are some coins in this fight, but so long as Bowser doesn't obscure your view of them, they are very easy to dodge. And with 3 well-timed throws, we can beat this boss and finish the game, all without robbing the royal treasury of a single coin. So then, is it possible to beat Super Mario 64 DS without collecting any coins? Yes. Despite this being one of the few main Mario games where Wario is a playable character, it is possible to beat Super Mario 64 DS without collecting any coins. And now you know. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, why not like it? And as usual, I'm always looking for suggestions for challenges to try in the future. So if you have one, leave a comment. And while you're at it, make sure to subscribe so that you can know when the next one of these comes out. But anyways guys, until next time, I've been CMeeCraft, and I'll catch you in the next video, where we'll be trying another challenge. Then, who knows, maybe the next one will have something to do with stars again. Goodbye.